Let's talk about the call controls. So when you join a meeting using the technology in this room, once you're in that meeting, you have different functionalities and controls. So let's go through that kind of one by one. Everything is going to be pretty much at the touchscreen interface. So let's just look across the touchscreen a little bit. On the left-hand side, you'll see the meeting ID and passcode. In the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see the meeting participants and also where you would type in a name to invite a participant or a phone number. You would type in your phone number there and add them. And at the bottom, you've got some extra functionality. So the first icon on the left is a square divided into 4. This is your layout button. So when you click the layout button, you can choose different types of layout options. Here we're only connected to Mr. Elon Musk, so we're in a one-to-one call. If we're sharing a presentation or if there are multiple people, the layout button would basically give you some different options. There's also a functionality here called Front Row, which is specific to Microsoft Teams. It orients the screen a little differently. And then you can toggle the chat on and off depending on if you'd like that to be visible from inside the meeting room or not. Moving to the right of the layout button is the icon button. So this is something that you would use to give kind of silent feedback. If someone were to make a great point, you can easily use the kind of clapping icon or whatnot. To the right of that, you have your sharing icon. So this little square with the arrow pointing up is if you connect a device to the HDMI cable, you can share that device in the meeting. So everyone on the far end will be able to see that. Next to that, you have 3 dots. If you click on the 3-dot button, you have different types of options here. Like maybe you'd like to see what the meeting info is. You don't want to see the chat bubbles kind of showing up. You want to lock the meeting, turn on your live captions and things like that. To the right of the 3 dots, you have your volume controls. So the minus, speaker, and plus icon is all about what you hear in the room. So if you hit the minus button, you'll see it kind of drop down. The range is 0 to 100. Right now we're dropping down the volume. Or if we press the plus icon, it'll increase the volume. So minus, the volume in the room will go down, plus the volume will go up. To the right of that, you see a little camera icon, and that's to mute your camera so the far end doesn't see what's going on. So press the icon and a line will come across it, and that is to mute your camera. If you press the icon again, the little line disappears, and that's unmute. That means your camera is live and everyone can see what's coming through the camera. The button next to the camera is your microphone icon. So if you click on your microphone, it'll mute your microphone or unmute your microphone. There's also a visual cue here. You can see the microphone on the table turns green when it's unmuted, and it'll turn red when it's muted. And finally, the last icon on the screen is your hang up button. This red square with a phone hung up is basically how you would disconnect the call or disconnect this room from the call that's going on. Simply press that button and the call will end. And you can move on to your next meeting. Those are the call controls while you're in a Microsoft Teams.